Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina, your resident lesbian millennial, and I'm here to bring you some clips of women saying ridiculous things. And we're going to watch them together. Sounds good. Jump in the line. Jump in the line. Rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you.
Personally, will not anymore. I don't make an attempt anymore. I don't care to. I don't want to date anybody. I'm way too happy by myself. Please do not bother my peace. But when I was trying, it's like I will find literally anything about you to hate, and then I will hate it forever, and you will never have a chance. Because I will find that one thing, and I will never not hate it about you.
Interesting.
I'm very toxic. That's why I don't do it. I will not put somebody else through my toxicity. That's not fair.
In what ways are you toxic?
I will train you like a dog.
You'll train someone?
I will train you like a dog. I'm not gonna force you to get on your hands and knees unless you want to. But it's like the littlest thing will set me off, and I will just instantly never unsee it. The ick. It's the ick. And I get the ick with every single person I come across.
Every single person?
I try to date, I guess.
Okay.
It's like I force myself to find something not to like because I know I just don't want to be with them. I'm like, please leave me alone. I will be old and alone with 10 dogs. And happy.
So these type of women I have come into contact with. I've almost dated women like this. Usually a clear indicator that a woman is going to be a terrible match for you is if she says she's toxic. If a woman says she's toxic, the last thing you want to do is be like, oh, you're not toxic. I mean, what's so toxic about you? Trust me, I've been there before. And I've tried to convince the woman who said she was toxic that she wasn't, and come to find out, she was toxic.
When you think of a toxic person, what comes to mind?
So if someone tells you something about themselves, just believe them immediately. If a woman says she's toxic, not only is she toxic, she's probably up there in the high level of toxic women that you want to stay away from. But women like this, they're always angry. It seems like she's like just ready to attack anyone who comes anywhere in her vicinity.
I hate men. I hate men.
It usually comes from some sort of bitterness from having someone mistreat them. She has a lot of baggage, definitely a lot of bad experiences with whomever. I'm not really sure. I'm assuming an ex-boyfriend or a guy that she was interested in. But it made her bitter and angry. She's going to be a detriment to any man she comes into contact with afterwards. And a lot of men will fall into her trap, and she will treat them like absolute garbage. Women like this, you don't want to be anywhere near because they already have an agenda for any man who's interested in them. And they're willing to completely destroy, manipulate, mind fuck a guy's head. They're more than willing to do that to a man's head in order to feel good about themselves because the guy or guys that messed with them in the past hurt them so much. So now it's like they're getting revenge by taking revenge on all these other men that they come into contact with afterwards. It fills them with some sort of sick joy.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
She's just very angry. She's a very angry little lady. And she just seems to hate men. Problem with women like this is that what they don't understand is that all men are not the same. But her assumption is that every man that she's come into contact with who has been an asshole or burned her, she just assumes that all men are like this. So she's going to try to get back at all the men that are like this, which are all of them. And she's going to take them down one by one if they come anywhere near her. Unfortunately, because she's an attractive younger female, then she's going to have guys coming at her all the time. And she'll probably maybe warn them once that she's toxic, and because they're not going to listen, she's going to take them for all they're worth. She's going to treat them like shit, completely mess with their heads, and perpetuate toxicity. She's going to make it so maybe not the smartest nice guys, she's going to turn them into bitter assholes, just like her. I think, honestly, if she's going to be like that, she should just not talk to anyone. She should just stay away from everyone, ignore everyone. I think that's just better for the world.
Leave me alone!
Because women like this only want to harm people. They want nothing else but to harm people and to gain the joy from making men suffer and gaining the upper hand. These women, they will live miserably. The funny thing is that she says she's happy, that she's, joyful or whatever. She's not. You could see that she's not. She seems pissed, angry, bitter. Whatever joy or happiness she thinks she has is just her anger. She's probably just getting off on the anger that she feels towards men. She's not happy.
I don't need a boyfriend. I kind of see him for the sex.
Okay.
Do women really do that? I understand why men do that, because
Yeah.
men are just constantly thinking about sex, especially when they're very young. But do women really think that way? I know feminism pretends that women think about sex the same way that men do, but that's not real, right?
I mean, no, actually, once you get comfortable with someone, once you're sleeping with them enough, I think the sex gets a lot better. Which is why I'm seeing this guy where the sex is good because we've been seeing each other, but I'm dating other people or
But don't you
going on
think
other dates.
the other guys that you're dating might frown upon it if you're sleeping with a different guy?
No, because they're sleeping with other people too, probably.
Do you like it that they're sleeping with other people too?
I mean,
I feel like you don't
you
care
want
for
your
it.
needs met?
I have a theory about this. The women that sleep around and act holier than thou. Women who are like, yeah, I slept around with him, I'm just being like a guy. Guys do it all the time. So I'm cool and powerful because I'm a woman who is sexually promiscuous and I could just sleep around with whoever I want, which makes me not only cool, but way higher up on the totem pole than most of these women because they can't do what I do. Yeah, there's a big difference between men and women. Men think about sex constantly. Women naturally don't. They don't. Women that do are usually have some sort of addiction, or they have a group of friends that are just like that. They're trying to model their life after. I want to be included in the group, so I'm going to be just like all these other hoes that are my friends. That doesn't work. See, another reason why I'm happy I'm gay is because I couldn't deal with men. The sexual desires of men, I couldn't do it. Sorry, fellas. As a woman, I don't have those that drive like men do. I don't have that kind of testosterone in my body and that brain, For women, it's different. It's just fucking different. We don't think about sex like men do all the time. So for men, from what I've heard, is that jerking off or having sex is like taking a piss. Clarify if I'm wrong, but this is what I've heard men say, that jerking off and having sex is just like taking a piss. So if that's the reality, since sex isn't an emotional thing for them, then that's completely different than the mind of a woman. Because women will normally get attached to the person that they're physically intimate with. So if a woman is not getting attached to the person they're being physical with, then it's just a physical act. They're being just like men. They're not being women. They're being sexually just like men, which is not an attractive quality to men who look at that woman as having any sort of value. The men she's going to come into contact with and sleep with are men who look at her like she's a one and done.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Just a fling. She's nothing important. She's nothing to tie down. She's no one to get emotional about. She's just a toilet for me to piss in, pretty much. So women who completely eradicate emotions and just open their legs to anyone and having, just being a receptacle, those women don't have any character. They don't have any interesting qualities. They're usually very boring and very bored, so they always have to have sex and constantly have men chasing them. And it makes them feel good about themselves and makes them feel confident and like they're high-value women, when really they're just receptacles for a whole bunch of low-value men to ejaculate into and leave. She holds no value to any high-quality man. Women who could just sleep with guys and not have any sort of emotion attached to it. Those women have become numb to any emotional sensation related to the physical action of sex. In which case, getting into a relationship and being in a relationship, an intimate relationship with a woman like that, sex won't mean anything with you. For her, it's like a sport. It's like taking a piss. Nothing more than peeing in a toilet. What man really wants that? You are who you hang out with. And I already know what group of friends she hangs around. And I know the individuals in that group and how they are.
I'm 33. I can't think of any reasons or advantages to date a 31-year-old over a 21-year-old. for me personally.
So can you clarify what your advantages would be for dating a 21-year-old over a 31-year-old, since you're comparing the two?
Lower body count, less baggage, probably better able to pair bond. There's a few that...
I mean, so like...
better looking. Originally, I think I had stated that I don't see the advantage of dating a woman who's 31 versus 21.
I think that there's a lot of advantages of dating a person who has been on this earth for longer and knows more.
So
and
has a higher body
experiences.
count and more promiscuous and more baggage from past relationships.
You know, if you don't see the merit of somebody being on this earth for longer and accruing more experiences, then I can't tell you how to see that.
So let's tackle this right here. So he's saying that he likes dating younger women. I get it. I do too. Neo-feminism makes it so women think by being sexually free and sleeping around that they have learned more. They've had more experience. They're more intelligent. They've been on this earth longer. They have more depth to them. They can hold a more deep conversation. That's not always the case. It's more about women becoming men. When it comes down to it. Now, these women don't know this. They think that they're being strong, independent woman. She's strong like bull.
Strong like bull.
Independent. She don't need no man. She listens to the songs. She don't need no man. And yet, the bitches who are singing these songs need a man and are with men. It's like, do as I say, women. Not as I do. I want y'all to be hoes, because if y'all are hoes, then that's more men for me. That's what women are doing. They're doing that sick mind game. They're like, yeah, women, you want to be strong, woman? You want to not need no man? Well, be a hoe. Go out on this earth and get some experience. And yet the small minds of these neo-feminist women, they don't even understand that there is a myriad of different experiences in the world that you could have if you don't have money. There are 1,000 other ways to gain life experience and learn from people. For some reason, these neo-feminists think, the only way we can gain experience as strong, independent women is to sleep with as many men as possible. No, that's small-minded thinking. That doesn't make you deep. That doesn't make you more interesting. That doesn't make you a less boring person to be around. It just makes you less emotionally attached to people. So if I meet a woman who has been with a lot of people, my first thought is this woman will never become emotionally attached to me. She will never become emotionally reliable. She's probably not that trustworthy, and she probably lacks a lot of integrity and self-esteem. That ain't no woman I want to be with. And that's not a woman you want to be with either. Those women are, what do they say, for the streets? There you go. They're for the streets. So I'll leave it here. What do you guys think about neo-feminism, about women sleeping around versus men sleeping around? Men, is sleeping around with all different women getting off, is it like taking a piss? Because that's what I hear. So I need answers. And who better to ask than men? So like and subscribe. Please answer my question in the comments below. I really don't know. And I feel like this would be very beneficial for me to know and to better make content.
Don't